in my mind, I've been thinking about this so much. Like, to me, I'm like, man, Putin knows all this. So he's like, he's finessing mad. He's like finessing mad by going conventional, knowing no one wants to go mad on him.
Россия сделала все для сохранения территориальной целостности Украины. В этой связи считаю необходимым принять уже давно назревшее решение. Незамедлительно признать независимость и суверенитет Донецкой Народной Республики с обеими республиками.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I've got an update on the man who ruined beards forever, and it's an interesting one. Now, after being kind of revealed as the opposite of an alpha giga chad who totally handles his personal responsibility, one Jack Murphy and his liminal order, he's been trying to kind of like reinvent himself a little bit again. You know, like how he pretended he was a Democrat to deplorable, and then he pretended to be an alpha giga chad, and then he pretended to be a responsibility advocate, and he pretended to be a super dad, and now he's pretending to be an expert on Russia. And it's actually quite hilarious. And his new email, which is completely unhinged, you've got to see to believe. Now, I've got a plea. I really do. Please shave the beard, Jack. Like, it's just for the rest of the bearded community. Please consider it. And maybe you don't, maybe you want to do something cool. Like, I've seen people shave with knives before. Like, I've got a perfect product for you. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Kamikoto. That's right. Kamikoto makes Japanese steel kitchen knives using traditional techniques from Japan. Over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise have gone into creating the steel that this knife has been meticulously handcrafted from, using techniques that date all the way back to the Edo period of Japan. Kamikoto only uses steel sourced from mills in Japan. Each knife comes in a beautiful, heavy-duty wood box. It makes sure that the knife is stored safely. Each knife is individually inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. These are knives that I personally own and use. I got a set through this promotion. Over Christmas, I used it to cut a beautiful brisket that I had made for the holidays, and cut ham and turkey and all sorts of things. Not only did it work flawlessly, but it was a talking point at the table. The knives felt like the perfect weight. They were perfectly balanced. And on top of all of this, just for you, my subscribers, you guys can get an additional $50 off any purchase you make with discount code THEQUARTERING. So click the link below and go to kamikoto.com/thequartering and use promo code THEQUARTERING to save an extra $50 today. Now, he's been back for 2 weeks now. And look, I don't blame the guy for getting back to work. This is his job. This is the business he's built. He's probably still making a couple $1,000s a month from his liminal order, maybe even as much as $20,000 a month. And he's got a business. You know, not everybody has abandoned him, so he has a business to run. I don't want him deplatformed. I don't want him silenced. I just have a particular hot button issue, and that's with grifters among us. In the kind of the centrist, center left, center right, or even more conservative leaning community that watches my videos, there are a lot of grifters among us. And I can't stand any of them. It's why I take every possible opportunity to remind the world that Ian Miles Chong is in fact a pathetic grifter who steals money, who doxes people, who swats people, and yet I still see Tim Pool retweeting him. You know, or I see Jack Posobiec retweeting him, or I see him on the Post Millennial. At this point, I have to assume everyone knows that and is totally fine with it as long as he posts a funny video, which I don't know. I don't think that. I think people like that should be expelled from our community and laughed at, and then they can go back. And we also predicted that Jack would come back and try to play the religious angle. Last week, he sent an email that essentially alluded to the fact that if you don't forgive Jack Murphy, then you are not American and you are not a Christian. It's a weird angle. By the way, it might shock you There are a lot of phony Christians on the right. A lot of them. I've hung out with them. I see what they say in public, and I see how they are in private. Maybe that's why it taints my opinion on organized religion so much. Is like, my only experience has been with bad actors who aren't really living the word and just use it as a grift. Look, I know I have many religious viewers, but I think I could pride myself on saying I've never pandered to you and pretended that I was any more religious than I really am. But there are a lot of people that do that, in particular in conservative circles, and it's sick. Jack Murphy is one of them, taking verses from the Bible to pretend that, he is a biblical figure up on the cross, and then if you don't forgive him, then you are not Christian. It's actually insane. It's like the thing a megalomaniac would say. Let's see how the numbers have been since he's been back before his latest now switched to Russian expert. Jack Murphy Live. Let's take a look at his Twitter following. Zoinks. That's right. Still averaging a negative 125 followers a day, averaging 4,000 followers lost per month. Now it has kind of leveled off. He lost 3,500 in December, 7,000 in January. That's 10,500, and then another 5K in February. So that's 20,000 followers in 3 months. That's a lot. Very, very much. You can also see Jack Murphy is aggressively following new people. Here's the thing. He followed more people than he's ever followed in a single month in February. What does that tell you? It tells you he's trying to readjust his circle. He's looking for a new group of people to grift, okay? If you broke down these 100 people that he followed, I bet you'd find something in common with all of them. And I just don't have the time or the autism to do it, but I bet one of you could. I bet one of you could look at these 100 or 150 new people that he's followed, and they're probably all along the same lines of something. Check out the YouTube channel. Still hemorrhaging subscribers, losing about 500 a week, which isn't that much considering, but he only had 40,000 to begin with. So when he lost, and by the way, when you lose 4,000, you lose 10% of your overall subs in January, another 5% of your overall subs in December, another 5% in January, and you lost another 600 in February. It's probably time. He's probably thinking, it's time to come back. So he did come back with a video, a couple of video interviews with somebody who apparently is his friend. This isn't, again, to disparage whoever this person is. I'm unfamiliar with John Robb. But you can see much of the comments are very positive. Now, I don't know if he's deleting them or not. There's one comment from 3 days ago that says, Jack is obviously not informed this guy of his controversy. Just shove that up. Jack replies, he does. Everyone does. It's called having a friend. Do you have any of these? People who respect you and are loyal to you? I hope so. Go talk to one now. I'm not sure if Jack has done anything truly respectable. He never owned up to his mistake. There are members of the Liminal Order who told me that there were some good things done in that group, but most of them didn't attribute that to Jack Murphy. They attributed it to other members of the group. And then they attributed that to other members of the group. And then he sent this email the other day. They're always unbelievable. Earlier this month, Russia invaded Ukraine, and the response, an open source network swarm, emerged within days to cancel Russia and disconnect it from the world. Yeah, that's what's happening. They're getting canceled. That's right. Russia had an old tweet resurface, and that's what's happening. Corporations, nonprofits, governments, people's ideas, causes, they all rose together. Disconnected a nuclear power from financial systems, trade talks, and all sorts of social and cultural connections. Overnight, Russia was chopped out of the system. Whether they're right or wrong in their battle is a topic for another discussion. That's because he doesn't really know, and he doesn't really want to say, because he knows that if he picks a side here, he'd have to get educated on it. So he just says, I don't know who's right or wrong in all this. I mean, one country's invading another, but they probably have the reasons. What I want to talk about today is how scary that a swarm of Karens can decide the fate of an entire nation state. He's literally saying that Russia got canceled by Karens. He says that the Russia-Ukraine battle is a effect of cancel culture. I'm not kidding, because the very next sentence reads, what we see today is a continuation of cancel culture network that reared up as hashtag resistance and morphed into the Zero Koof crowd. It rode the wave of St. Floyd and now is turned into the anti-Putin maximalist swarm. He's really good with buzzwords. He's definitely a leftist. He's very good at it. You know the type. In 2016, their bios had Trump is the bad guy and triple mask emojis, then BLM flags, and now they're on the street dressed in baby blue and gold, calling for no-fly zones. Sounds like he's pro-Russia here. Because it's not only the nut jobs on Twitter calling for Russia to be canceled, it's almost every single major corporation along with every country in the West. It's a network swarm like we've never seen before. And this time their target is a armed state that will not go softly into the night. Do you think the network will be happy when Putin is giving up and returning to Russia? No, of course not. The swarm, in all caps, does not have a sense of fairness or proportionality. Are you joking, dude? You know, the second that Putin backs out, that Coca-Cola and Nike and Visa and Adobe and all these companies that took their business out of Russia, they're just, and McDonald's, they're going to open up again. They're going to open it up again the instant they can. It's actually insane. And I'll tell you, the biggest takeaway from the recent podcast I did is that the same network that can cancel you is also canceling Putin and Russia. That's what we're facing, guys. The same people that hate you and what you believe in have the power to cancel a nuclear-armed state. No, they don't. Bro. This just is like another level of like, he's in his mind, he's probably like, yeah, the same people came for me. That's the only reason I felt. By the way, P.S. membership in the liminal order will be reopening soon. Oh, praise be. I've been waiting. Except I already have access to the liminal order, but he doesn't know that, does he? What an amazing time to be alive. I look forward to these little weekly Murphy updates, and I hope you enjoy them too. And if you do, make sure you click that red subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.